Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Here we are, casual conversation with G&A. Today we have conversation 58. Our topic is Stonehenge, clearly, as you can see in the background.
Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. It's Friday today. And like I said, I just wanted to kind of mention we're like last minute.
Yeah.
Um,
Procrastinators, right?
And we do apologize. I know that some of you like for us to maybe
Be more detailed.
give you a time and what we're talking about this week, but here we are, right? So, yeah. But anyways, we appreciate everybody that comes in and joins and comments and shares. And so hopefully today, we kind of chose Stonehenge because we thought, hey, that's probably going to be something, like easy to talk about. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff with it.
There's so much information. Yeah. Yeah, we should.
All right, so we're going to jump right on it. Go ahead, Aileen. You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So if you guys don't know, Stonehenge is a prehistoric circle monument, and some people call it a cemetery, and archaeological site. Hi, Wade.
Hi.
And it's located on Salisbury Plain, about 8 miles north of Salisbury, Wiltshire. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
In England. I want to go.
In the UK, yes.
I would love to go see it.
Yeah, it would be so cool.
But it's far. Okay. I hope you guys can still hear us. Okay. My internet's been acting crazy today. So if we get kicked out, we'll get back. Okay. There's my on my side, so I don't know if maybe it'll go.
I just hope that it doesn't
keep doing that all day. Yeah. And it just started out of nowhere. It's weird.
Yeah, it usually works.
Yeah, so Natalie, I don't know. I guess it could be a lot of people talk about it, but I didn't know that it had all kinds of stuff. Hi, Miss JJ. I didn't know that it had so much history. I'm just oh, okay, maybe
we just thought it was some stones
chilling, in the middle of I don't know.
Yeah, in the middle of the middle.
Okay. So yeah, so people think it could be a religious site. Other people think it was used for observing the sun and the moon, or even a calendar, or maybe a healing center. So basically, you could, it aligns with the moon and the sun. And so it's pretty interesting. I think that's interesting because when we talked about the pyramids, even the pyramids themselves align with stars.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
and it's kind of getting annoying to me.
The earlier civilizations were very into that.
Celestial,
yeah.
I don't know.
And I mean, just look at
friendly.
It. They would create these monuments, which are wonders of the world, and it's you can't even attempt to imitate that.
I think it's interesting.
Today's day. So
yeah, I think it's interesting that all these stones have some sort of relationship with the stars or the space or the moon, or it's kind of
and then not to mention that they're extremely heavy stones. And they were able to do things like this, or same as with the pyramids.
Yeah.
So
they believe, okay, so a healing, I think, let's see, we're gonna go over some of the things we think they are, but calendar maybe because it aligns with the sun and the stars. Okay, that's
And it's
believable.
kind of circular.
Okay. And then a healing center? Why not? Right? It could probably give off some sort of energy, some sort of, because even the pyramids, they say that they have some sort of energy. It
Yeah.
works as a power plant. So why wouldn't these stones do the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. It is believed that it was built between 3000 and 1520 BCE. I don't know what that means, but that sounds like a long time ago. And it is unique because of its artificially shaped sergeant stones. Hi, DJ Moore.
Hi.
Okay, you're gonna have to come in and do an interview with us on your trip, because I was keeping tabs on that, DJ Moore. Okay, and it's unique because of the artificially. Okay, so the stones, basically, it's unique because of how big they are and how they're arranged.
Yeah.
And also, so they're called, some of the stones are called the blue
Yeah.
stones, and those stones were brought over from
Yeah.
100 to 150 miles away from the South Wales. Okay, how did they do that?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me because they're like really heavy. They say that they brought them over in boats, which is possible. But I just don't know, man. Like this whole stone thing like trips me out
Yeah.
because
I mean, today it's a limitation, obviously, right? To be carrying around,
Yeah.
who knows how many ton stones. But I mean, they would just like move them around, right?
How?
Like back in this time,
And
like
like
if it
and like I feel
was,
like stones were like big, like a big thing.
yeah,
It's pretty cool though. Okay, and then the name means stones hanging or gallows, along with more than 350 nearby monuments of henges. Hey,
hi.
I see that you changed your name, Roach Tales, to the I Believe podcast. Hey. Yeah, we saw that. Check out the ley lines aspect. I think it's energy related. I agree with that, DJ Moore. I think I'm gonna put this up because I feel that back then stones played a big role with energy and
Yeah.
I don't know, like the sun and the moon.
Do you
And
think that maybe they still do, but just, like they've lost how to,
like
that
move them,
ability?
like the
Yeah.
people that had that ability can't
Yeah.
do it no longer? Yes, I strongly believe that there was people that were able to somehow manipulate the stones,
Yeah.
and that has long been lost.
It just keeps reminding me of, like, honestly, the Eternals and, like their powers
Hi, Darkwoods.
and how, how they didn't want to get into, like, interfere with any of the civilizations, right, that they would visit.
Yeah, but I think kind of like Coral Castle.
Yeah.
The same dude, like the little dude, 100-pound dude that would move these huge stones overnight.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to talk more about that.
It reminds me of what you keep saying about, like, the levels, right, that of intelligence, right?
Yeah. Like what is it called?
For civilization, I know.
Yeah, stages of civilizations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of
So in 1963, astronomer, sorry guys, I can't even talk. Gerald Hawkins considered it to be like a computer that predicted lunar and solar eclipses. Many speculations have been rejected by experts. Others have stated that it was a meeting place during the third and fourth millennia, people living in the lowlands. So when it came to like the solar and lunar eclipses, that's pretty interesting, you guys, because even like the Mayans and the Aztecs were really big on solar eclipses, right?
Yeah.
And they would sacrifice people, because they believed that that's until the gods were suffice. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Then they would, have a lunar solar eclipse. Let me see. It could be like Easter Island, where the stories provide minerals needed in the ground for farming, so they keep adding.
Oh.
Hi, John. Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's this big thing with stones way
Yeah.
back in those eras. But I think that even Atlantis, wasn't that like made out of stones, like the city?
Was it?
I mean, the way they portray it in movies and like even cartoons, they show that like the city was made out of like stones, and even they had like little um, vehicles that like hovered, and it's pretty crazy.
I think it's sad to think that, those abilities are lost.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't that be cool to see things hover?
Nah, I think I would be
No.
scared. I'd be like, sorcery. All right. Many of Stonehenge's original stones were broken and taken away during the Roman medieval period. So I guess some of them were taken away and then they were like I don't know. I don't know if they tried to like
Introduced?
fix it, but many believe that it is a human cremation burial location. An estimated 150 to 240 cremation burials happened, and 64 had been excavated, and the great majority of them were adult males. But they've also said that they found like human bones. So that's why they say that it was like a burial site or like a cemetery, which could be possible that they would take people there and, do the like there's what is it, cremation
Ritual or what?
rituals. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever read the Edgar Casey material on Atlantis? No, no wig, I haven't. Does it say a lot about that? Romans needed new wheels. Yeah, like back in the day, man. All right, so Eileen's gonna add some stuff, and then
Yeah,
we'll get into theories.
Yeah, just adding some stuff to, the information. So, built in several stages, right? That's what's going on. So, the first monument was an early hinge monument built about 5,000 years ago. The unique stone circle was erected in the late Neolithic period, about 2,500 BC. In early Bronze Age, many burial mounds were built nearby. Heel Stone and North Barrow were early components of Stonehenge.
So so were these built before the pyramids?
We would have
Let
to
me
look
see.
back at
Let me see.
All right.
That's a trip, dude.
So around the Aubrey holes, people buried cremations, like you've mentioned. 64 cremations have been found, and perhaps as many as 150 individuals were originally buried at Stonehenge, which made it the largest Neolithic cemetery in the British Isles. So the stone settings. In about 2500 BC, the stones were set up in the center of the monument. There were two types of stones that were used, the larger sarcens and the smaller blue stones. The sarcens were erected in two concentric arrangements, an inner horseshoe and an outer circle. And the blue stones were oh yeah.
Sorry, you guys, we're buffering my I don't know what's wrong with my internet. We turned it off and then turned it back on, and it's still acting funky.
Oh man, even on here is, it's not
on your phone.
Yeah, and it's I took off the Wi-Fi, so
I don't know what's going on, you guys, but yeah. So the pyramids. Okay, so the pyramids were built 2575 and 2465 BCE. So does that mean they're older than the pyramids?
To be honest, we are no,
experts
in
historians.
Yeah, we're no historians, so we wouldn't know if anybody, knows about that and wants to chime in. That would be nice.
Dude, It's
I
a
mean,
trip. It's a trip because, like, I don't know what's up with like
it
people
sounds
back in
like
the
the
day.
same phenomenon. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
and I know that I know Volt had said that he went out there and he saw
yeah.
them and that they had like this weird sound.
Mhm.
That's interesting,
Yeah,
dude,
that's
because
interesting.
that just goes to show maybe like a static sound, and that just goes to show that maybe
There's
there's
energy
energy
there,
there or
yeah.
like a field, some type of force field
But
that we're getting.
isn't that the same thing that's said about like the pyramids though?
Yeah. Yeah, they have energy and you can hear this slight sound when if you get to like the very top of the pyramid, you know? But
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, because here you said, what did you write right here? 5,000?
Yeah, 5,000 years
5,000 years
ago.
ago? That's crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
Um I mean, nonetheless, it's interesting. I would want to see it for sure, it looks super cool.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, we were going to get into theories about what we think it is. Did you want to add more information or do you want to get
I
into
mean, I
theories?
did, but it's not cooperating, unfortunately. Oh, okay, I think we're getting somewhere.
Like I said, like our internet is crazy. So
Yeah,
I don't know
no, it's
why. I'm going to have to call.
it's not even loading.
I'm going to be
So,
like, dude, okay. So I wanted to talk about this show that I watched that's pretty crazy because it kind of reminded me of Stonehenge. So this show called Outlander, and it's about
mm,
a woman that time travels through this weird, like it looks like the same, like little stones that were placed like around, like in a little circle,
yeah.
and she time travels back and forth with the stones. So I thought that was interesting because what if it was possible? I mean, no one has ever like I mean, they don't really allow people to touch the stones. I mean, you have to even if you do go visit, like there's like an area where
Yeah.
you walk around. Yeah. See? There's okay, so yeah, there's aliens is a possible theory, right? And then
Yeah.
also the giants. So we kind of wanted to talk about so the Outlander, right? So okay, so time travel through stones.
Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, after I saw that show, I was like, okay, that's cool. I mean, I don't would you guys touch him and see? Like, would
And you
anybody
touch
wanna
them and
like
then something
I
happens.
know that would be scary, dude. I'd be like,
Yeah.
how do I get back? Like, nah, I don't think I would like test that theory.
Um, I was
Ooh, look at this. Wig said Stonehenge is supposed to be
what?
500 to 1,000 years older than the pyramids. That's crazy.
So they were like using some of the same techniques, but if you think about it, it sounds like a similar story because I mean, same thing with the pyramids, right? And how they brought in those stones, right? Remember that it was also a further out distance, right? Remember that they had to bring in those stones from
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
afar to be able
mm-hmm.
to. So yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty similar. So maybe they had, they knew about the same techniques of how to get it there. Um,
Yeah, so I don't know if I would volunteer to touch them and see if they will take me like back and forth into like I mean, would you guys? Let me know. Would you guys be down?
to touch
Would
them,
you?
I don't know. I don't know if it has
Like if
like
you were to touch it
energy.
and it like takes you somewhere, like that would be crazy.
It would be
Uh,
cool, but I don't know. I don't know.
would you risk it all?
To go into the unknown is the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, let me see. I did find a little bit. I was able to access some of the information. So, at the same time that the stones were being set up in the center of the monument, the sarcens close to the entrance were raised together with the four station stones on the periphery. Yeah, periphery. About 200 to 300 years later, the central blue stones were rearranged to form a circle and inner oval, which was again later altered to form a horseshoe. The earthwork avenue was also built at this time, connecting Stonehenge with the river Avon. One of the last prehistoric activities at Stonehenge was the digging around the stone settings of two rings of concentric pits, the so-called Y and Z holes. Radiocarbon dated by antlers within them to between 1800 and 1500 BC. They may have been intended for rearrangement of the stones, and that was never completed.
Hmm. So I also heard that that supposedly they're sinking into the ground because something to do with earthworms, that they
What?
like dig around, and so slowly they like keep like sinking. But that's not gonna happen till like I mean, a long time. But that's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what's another theory? Do they have theories on there?
No, I don't think they have
They
theories. This is
should.
this is information from the official page. Um
They don't really have like
yeah, I think it's more focused on just like, educational purposes, like,
yeah, but I
history,
don't
what
think they
it's
had
about.
like we don't know because we were trying to find out how much it is to go visit.
Yeah, and we couldn't find the prices. I know, like I was curious.
Like maybe they
And
closed it down because of COVID.
um but look, this is interesting. Little
Yeah, talk
ideas.
about that, dude. Like show that. Can you show it in the
I
camera?
know, let me see if I can show this in here.
Right
Wait,
here
how
in the
do
camera.
look at that. The building of Stonehenge. Some of the theories of
Dude,
how
that's
they
a trip. When I saw that, I was like, what the heck? That's crazy.
Yeah.
They would like make little rivets in there so that it can like kind of like be
Yeah, so that it could
placed.
stay there.
Yeah, my phone is.
Interesting. Um, yeah, it
Let's
seems
see.
cool. It seems like
Roland might have taken them apart because of where it would take people was too dangerous.
Romans.
Yeah, they look kind of like Legos. Yeah, I believe that. That's crazy. Because they
Yeah,
just kind
yeah,
of
they
like
do actually. Yeah.
are put in place.
Yeah, they just fit in.
So another theory is that they were built by magic by this wizard named Merlin, and
Yeah.
that he went, yeah, like giant Lego blocks. That they went to go steal the stones from some place, and then that, like with his little magic wand, he kind of like put him on the
Made it
boat.
happen.
Yeah, and then they like sailed back to England, and voila. But I don't know. I mean, were they wizards back then?
I don't know. I mean, I
I don't
mean,
know. Okay, and I did want to talk about the Coral Castle situation because in Coral Castle, we talked about the man that would be able to move the stones overnight and he said that he would use like frequencies, right? Some type of frequency, electric frequency that he was able to move them. So I'm kind of thinking, like Eileen said, maybe they're able to manipulate. There was people that had the ability of manipulating these large structural like
mhm.
rocks and move them as they pleased.
Yeah, being able
Hi,
to,
Chase.
bend rules like that where, it's a limitation and it's like, oh, well, not for us, you know? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. It is.
Yeah, I think if there was people that were able to do that, then that makes sense. Giants? What do you think about giants, Eileen?
Giants.
Could
I
it
don't know.
be
They were
giant
they were
people?
trying to have fun with the Lego blocks. They were just,
Dude, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, you didn't?
No,
I'm
like
like,
the
they were just
giants
trying to
were
play.
building like with the Legos. Wow. Well, because they call them the Nephilim, and they were like giants that existed with humans back way back, and a lot of people think that that's how they would build these huge stone things. But even then, I mean, I think that throughout the years, they have found giant bones, right? Like they've
Yeah, I
excavated
think
like
so.
giant skulls and bones and things like that. Hi, Vault.
Hi.
Yeah, so it's possible that maybe these giants would pick them up and like place them.
Yeah.
Okay, so what the I Believe podcast said. aliens. What do you think about it being
Aliens.
aliens? The only reason
Um,
why, okay, here's my opinion. The only reason why I think that they could have had something to do with it was because of the alignment of the
okay.
moon and the sun, and even like the pyramids, the alignment with, what is it, star systems.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only reason why I would believe that maybe there was some sort of,
Like alien involvement.
yes, maybe they kind of helped, or what?
What?
Chase.
See, what if it's things like that? You know?
Yeah. See, I totally believe that. Yeah, you needed to share that story, Chase. What's up with these aliens? Yeah. And like somebody had mentioned, maybe it's like a landing zone where they would like come down and like land, or
Oh.
maybe like they would power up their
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah. That's what I was
spaceship with the
thinking. Like
rocks.
maybe like to
Cuz
power
maybe
up.
like we said, okay, so some of these rocks, like they have, energy. And
Yeah.
what if these UFOs need this type of energy to get their like little thing to run?
Because there's other like in that landscape there's other like little circular um did you see that? The like
Yeah. It's like it was, and with time it has deteriorated, but it definitely was like a circular type. Like, it almost reminded me of like the crop circles.
yeah.
Okay, and the crop circles are a trip too. So I know. That's funny.
um
Okay. And so the last one was rituals. Do you think that it could be like a ritual?
a place for rituals.
Yeah, I think so. I think that that's possible. That, it definitely was like a place where people would do like burial rituals or
Yeah.
like cremation rituals. Also maybe go in to try to like have a spiritual awakening or some sort of spiritual encounter. I mean, I can see that happening because a lot of people do get these experiences out in nature, and even with like stuff that Mother Earth provides.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know, I feel like if we're talking theories, I think I would have to say like, you know, it's more of like the energy thing, and there was a way of how to like manipulate weight to be able to like stack them up.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
I
I
think
heard
it's
that, well, I was researching this, that there was a man that was able to move stones with like other stones, like with little round rocks, and he would just kind of like roll them. I mean, imagine, dude, like you can smash your fingers doing stuff like that. That's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah. I mean, I think any theory is possible. I think that people like, there's, I mean, if there has been people on this earth that are able to do like things like that, that's cool. So I'm going to add the link on the chat if anybody wants to come in and share their thoughts. You're welcome to come in. But I don't know, I definitely would like to go visit. I don't know, I'm scared. And the pyramids too. I would like to visit the pyramids. I would love to visit Coral Castle. I would love to visit is there any other stone places? Oh, the pyramids in Mexico,
Yeah.
even the Peru ones.
The Guatemalan ones.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What do you
I mean,
think?
they all seem cool. Same. I would, of
And
course, want
but
to see all of them.
I feel like they all have some type of energy to them.
I don't know. I feel like they're all pretty similar. You know, like how do you get these stones there? You know, I feel like that's the big question.
That is the big question. But I don't know. We'll never know, you guys. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think we will. Honestly, I don't think so. I mean, I feel like for like restoration purposes, they're able to like, keep it at its best, right? But to be able to create something like that, I don't know. Still question mark.
Yeah, because we were trying to find out, like we said, like in the website, and no, it doesn't say like how much it is to get in there.
Yeah, it doesn't. I know I was
But you can get a VIP experience. Ooh, does that include touching them? That would be a trip. I don't think I would want to touch them. Ugh, I would be so scared. And they even have like an exhibition where they show like different stuff that they found around, right? Look, because this one says. So if you guys go on the website, you're able to see all this
Yeah.
stuff.
And they have a lot of information on the website.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 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 If you guys are wanting to come in, you can just grab that link and you can join to share your thoughts or opinions.
Look, should I show them? Like, this is the little plan of Stonehenge.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can.
I feel like you have to put it back a little bit. There you go. Why is it so blurry?
I know. It looks cool though. Yeah,
It
it's
seems like I
interesting,
remember hearing.
Like,
It seems like I remember hearing about a second Stonehenge in another country, but I can't remember. And that's the thing. When I was doing the research, it did show a lot of other places that have similar stone formations, and I was like, okay, so why are all these places? Why is this a thing? Like, why do they have stones in a circular? Like, maybe they are landing places. I don't know. I don't like to not know.
I think it's interesting that that was the place that was chosen, like that exact spot, right? Like, oh, right here, let's set these up right here. Pretty interesting. Yeah, so if you should check out the page, it's pretty cool.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. Let me remove this.
I can't be long because I'm supposed to be on at 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I have you. Hold on. I have you on my phone real quick.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
So you changed the name to your channel.
Yeah. So I changed it to the I Believe podcast, and then I signed up on I think it's Speaker is what it's called. And then you can actually take your audio clips off of StreamYard and just download your audio and then repost everything as a podcast for free.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
That's
so it's
cool.
like went to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube, Google.
And what is it called?
Speaker, just Google like Speaker podcast. You get like 10, you get to upload 10 things a month for free. And then if you want more than that, it's like $9 a month.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, but no, I think it's, you said something about energy with the Stonehenge. And I was thinking about it. I was like, well, if it's energy, maybe this site was used up. So like by the time the Romans got to it or other people, it was dried up and it seemed like a useless, pointless thing that they couldn't recognize what it would be for. So they started taking parts from it. Like making wheels and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's possible because like a lot of people have said that when they go, they can feel the energy, right? Like some sort of electrical pulse or something. And so I find that crazy because I'm like, but why is it that all these places that have stone, have the same feeling or the same situation happening?
And
so
some of them have holes in them, right? All the way through. Am I right with
these
that?
stones?
Yeah. Or am I thinking of a different set of stones that have the hole?
Oh, I don't know. These have like the little hinges, like you said, like they look like little Legos, but I don't know. I don't think I saw anything on.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Maybe it was in, I think it was on one of the shows in Egypt I saw. They had some rocks like that with holes in them, and they brought a mason guy on and said just to like form a rock to be so precise is hard, but to drill a hole through a piece of like granite or whatever that is, that deep and precise and perfect circular with hand tools is impossible. And he said it would take him years just to do it.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah. And you can see the perfect circular, like cylinder looking like little hole that they built. And
Wow.
which looks to me like they did it with like the laser.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah.
maybe like logical explanation, I think.
Yeah.
Because even I don't know if you've watched that Alien versus Predator movie.
I know, that's what I was thinking of too.
Where they kind of like, I guess they had a laser on their ship in space and they kind of just sent it down to Earth and it made like a perfect hole.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And then that way they can travel down and get to that pyramid that was under.
Yeah.
Speaking of
ice.
movies, you all need to go watch that new Ryan Reynolds movie on Netflix.
What is it called?
It just came out today. What's on the tip of my tongue? I should know this. I just did it's called The Adam Project.
Oh,
And I just don't watch my video on it because it has all the spoilers.
okay.
So
I just went to go see Batman.
well, this is like gonna mess your whole time travel mind up.
Oh.
So
That's another thing we were. Have you seen Outlander?
no.
So it's about like a stone, like it looks like the Stonehenge, like little situation, but she like there's a girl that's able to like travel through the stones, and it was like an accidental thing. She just like touched it, and then she traveled in time.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny because I'm sitting there watching this time travel movie, and I know this is off topic from what you guys are talking about. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
And my wife is sitting there next to me, and she goes, "Hey, is this like going off of 13 going on 30?" And I'm like, "What is she talking?" I was like, what is that? And what are you talking about? And she's like, "That girl is the grown-up version of the girl on 13 going on 30." And she goes, "That guy that she's married to in her photos is the same guy that played her husband in the movie." And
What?
and I was just like, "What are you talking
I love
about?"
that movie.
Yeah, then she showed it to me and I was like, "Oh, I think they're just the same actors in the same movie." But
it's a different concept.
yeah, she thinks it's a continuation of 13 going on 30 because they had to do a time trap, like, so. But I don't think it's like that.
I don't know, time travel, that's another thing I would want to do a podcast on, talk about that.
Yeah. Well,
because it's so, there's been, I don't know if, on the Coast to Coast AM that I would listen to, they would have time travelers call in. So they would have a time traveler line and they would have people call in that were time travelers. And it was crazy because they would share all these stories like about what was going to happen in the future. And then there was one, he called, I think back in 1995.
Yeah.
And like the stuff that he was saying was like a trip because some of it is true now. And so I was like, what? Because he was saying that one of the things he said that kind of like tripped me out was that he said that people were going to start using, what is it? Like, what do you call it? Like the OMG.
Oh, yeah. Like acronyms?
Yeah. For everything.
Acronyms.
Yeah. And so that's true. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
or they abbreviate everything.
Yeah, abbreviate everything. And then I was like, because I was listening to it now. I'm like, oh, let's see if anything came true. And so that's true. And then I think there was something else that he said that happened, that people were going to be screaming, oh, the sky is falling and something is going to happen. And, there's a lot of things that have been happening. I think it was for the 2020. What happened?
I said, if I look distracted, my dog is like freaking out at my feet.
The little one?
Like he's wrestling the husky.
Oh,
he's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell that he's going to be a big puppy.
Yeah.
He's going to be a big dog.
But yeah, I was just popping on real quick because I got to start getting ready for my thing.
All right. Well, thank you. We appreciate it.
If you guys want to stop by, you're welcome. We're talking about which is real. That's the topic.
Our Which is Real. Okay. And that's going to be on your channel. And it's called you want to share it?
What? Yeah. The I Believe podcast. So.
And you go on every day, right?
Monday through Friday, 7 p.m.
Monday through Friday. So if anybody wants to go over there and subscribe.
Well,
He has a lot of really good stuff.
I
I went on there yesterday, or was it the day before?
Yeah, I had an idea of something we can collaborate on, and my football channels I watch do this. They have a Jets fan, they have a Giants fan, or a Jets, Dolphins, Patriots, Bills fans, right? And they call it a roundtable, and they take a YouTuber from each section, and every Tuesday night, they rotate whose channel is going to host it.
Oh, that's cool.
And then they all come on here, the 4 people as a panel, and that host leads the whole discussion. They pick the topics and everybody else, and they do it once a week. And I was like, that would be cool to find people to do something like that with this from all the channels.
I'm down. That would be fun.
Cool.
Yeah, and everybody grows because it rotates who's hosting. So.
And then we can try to get some other people to kind of join in.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing. And if anybody wants to check out his channel, I'm going to see if I can post it on my description at the end of this. That way they can go on there too.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, guys. So he is I like his channel. I don't know if he has a newer channel, but I went on there yesterday, I think, or the day before. I got my days mixed up, but we were talking about possessions and like, what is it called? Exorcisms. So they were talking about that, and we were kind of sharing. I was kind of sharing with them some info. So yeah. So go check them out, and then hopefully you guys like it. I liked it. But yeah, time travel. And I think I definitely would want to talk about the time travel aspect, like, because it's really interesting, and it's fascinating to think people going back in time or going forward in time.
Yeah, it is. I feel like it always will be, you know?
So have any of you guys in chat visited Stonehenge? I would like to know, because I never have. I know Vault has, I think a couple of times.
One of the friends in the chat, is she from the UK? Based on her name?
Natalie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It says Natalie UK. So maybe if Natalie, have you gone to Stonehenge? I would love to know. But yeah, I don't know if Chase was going to come in and tell us his story about how his dad moved a truck. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
It says, let me see. I got a story about my dad that seen a group of guys put their hands on a truck and levitate the truck. That's crazy.
So whatever that's what they were doing, you know what I mean? Like,
that reminds me of, there's I don't know if I've heard it or watched it somewhere, but they say that there's some people that when they experience like this insane trauma, they're able to do things that are kind of supernatural. Like, I think there was this one time that a mom, I guess she kind of was able to like push a car off because their child was in the car. Have you heard that story? Or did I tell you that story?
I think you did told me that story.
Yeah, and so she kind of like was able to move the car because, she was trying to get to her child. And so to me, I would be like, dude, I would totally like would love to do that. Like, I would have to have that ability to be able, to be able to, for your children, the things that people do, it's pretty out of this world. Where thy warlocks. And so also, like,
maybe it's like a part of like
consciousness, like a part of the brain that's not unlocked.
Yeah
That's possible. And there's people that are able to unlock that part that gives them those type of abilities. Do you remember that movie with what's her name?
Ooh.
Black Widow? What's her name?
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, so there's this movie that she made. where she takes these drugs. Remember?
Is it called Lucy?
Is it Lucy?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it might be. And she kind of like gets these drugs in her system, and she's able to like unlock all the parts of her brain, and then she's able to do all this crazy stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I was thinking of too. I was thinking of Limitless, and how, like, they say that you only use like certain percentage of your brain, but like, what if you can activate all part, like 100% of your brain?
Mm-hmm.
What happens? You know what I mean? Like, what if, like, I don't know. Does anybody know?
No.
What happens when you're at 100%? When you're at 100?
At 100?
Yeah, what happens?
I don't know.
Can you do stuff like that? Can you, like, start like moving objects? I don't know. It's just interesting.
And then like you think it, and then it happens.
Yeah. Like, what if you don't even need to touch anything? What if you're just like...
I remember, you guys, this story too about this has nothing to do with time travel or the stones, but it's a pretty interesting story. I just thought about it, that there was this mom, I guess, with a baby, and they got into like a car accident, and it was, so her car went like to this bridge, and so cars that would pass by were not able to see it, because it was like right under, like somehow she crashed in, and then the car went like under the bridge, because it was like a little river. And so the mom passed away, but I remember the story, there was a cop got there. I don't know how. I think somebody was able to see it, and they called the cop, but he said that when he was walking down to the car, there's even a video, you guys. He was walking down to the car. He could hear the mom talking and saying, help her, help my daughter, like help her.
Yeah.
And you can hear it in his camera. What is it? His
body cam?
His body cam. You can hear the voice saying, help her. And so when he goes down to the car, it was kind of like partially submerged underwater. And the mom, of course, she had died. And so the baby was still alive in her car seat, and she was crying. And
wow.
To me, or I don't know if she was like, she had like hypothermia or something.
Yeah.
But it was crazy how, like, even after death, like, she was able to communicate to save her child because the baby was still alive.
And, honestly, when you mention things like this, like moms, these super moms with, superpowers, it really brings me back to like Interstellar, right? Which is one of like the best movies. And like, how they mentioned how like love can, surpass any limitation, right? Like time, space, anything. And it makes me think of that. What if these moms, they love their children so much that like
you're able to kind of
like nothing is a limitation anymore. You know what I mean? Like even if you pass, you're still able to get help for your child because you love your child. Or like, like the love you have for your kid, you're able to like lift up this super heavy
vehicle.
Yeah, things to think about. You know?
And so that's like something that, I'm like, dude, I hope I'm never in a situation like that, but I would love to be able to have these, like, I don't know what they are, powers, but, be able to like protect my children.
Yeah, some of the like what happens when you're at 100? Do you leave your physical body?
And that's what the movie portrays, right? She kind of like leaves her body at the end and disappears or something, and she's able to like change herself, right? And
I haven't seen that movie.
It's a cool movie.
Yeah, I haven't. And the other one, right?
Yeah, if you get to 100%, you become a god. Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
You become a Super Saiyan god.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I think that's because I feel personally, being a mom, that moms do have some kind of a sixth sense when it comes to their kids. And I think that's awesome. And I think that it does have to do with love, like you mentioned, because love is something that science cannot, science can't disprove or prove or say that it's not real, or that how do you explain love?
That's what I mean when it makes me think of like, even that movie. He loved his daughter so much he was able to find a way to communicate with her, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hi.
Can you hear us? Okay.
You hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You hear me? Okay. All right. One second. Had to move real quick.
Oh, that's okay.
All right. So the story of my daddy that he had told me. So basically, I guess just a bunch of redneck drunks or something, basically. And my dad said they were all at a party one time, and somebody had made the comment that that they could levitate whatever objects, and nobody believed the guy. What he did was he had everybody get together in a circle around this truck. Are you still here?
Yeah, we can hear you. Sometimes you just like freeze, but we can still hear your voice.
Yeah, I think I went under his building. Anyway, so what he did was, since they believed him, he was like, all right, I'll prove it to you. So I don't remember how many there was, probably, I think there was like 6 or 8 guys. And they had all gotten a circle around the truck and like held hands. And then he told everybody to have think of like, I guess basically moving the truck. They were all thinking the same thing. And then they let their hands go and all put their hands over the top of the truck with just their hands like inches off the top of the truck. And then like all of a sudden the truck like starts moving, and they were able to move the truck a few inches, and everybody was like freaked out and let go, and it just dropped. So which I've heard other people, like I've seen like teenager kids or whatever take that same ideology or thought process and have a student like sitting in the seat, and they'll all put their hand over the top of the student that's sitting in the chair, and they'll one by one with their hands on top of each other, they would I guess like let go and use one finger up under the seat of the chair, and like all the students that were in a circle doing it, they were able to lift the kid up with one finger.
That's crazy.
I thought that it kind of like, that's how I thought that they back in that time they had more knowledge of that type of stuff, and that's how they moved the giant rocks and stuff. I think now, as far as cutting them and stuff like that, I had no idea. I'm assuming some kind of alien technology.
Yeah, and that's totally possible, and that's why I was talking about that maybe because even the guy from I can't even remember his name, from Coral Castle, he would do the same thing, and he was like an 100-pound man, and he was like sick too. So and I guess there was somebody that was spying on him one night, and a child, and they said that they just saw him singing to the stones, and they would lift up and move. And I was like, what? That's crazy. But
dude, there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, if you think about it, all you're doing is because we're made of energy, so you're manipulating the energy around you. I'm assuming I don't have no knowledge directly about this, but I talked to one dude, and he knew this guy. I guess when they were growing up as kids, he would say he could move stuff like with his mind, and like he would always say that. And then I guess one day they were like trying to get him to prove it. So he sat a pencil, I guess, on the table, and then he moved it like with just his mind. It rolled off the table, and everybody was like, "No, you didn't." Like they didn't believe him. So the next time he used his hand, and he moved the pencil. But I don't know. He always had I guess that kid always had like a lot of special gifts. Like he was able to do. Like he could watch a movie, like I guess what he described it, he could watch like a Bruce Lee movie and then go outside and do all the movies perfect. He just had a natural good at certain stuff.
That's cool. And there's probably people that are more sensitive to that and that are able to like have like awaken these abilities that people are pretty much shut down. It's kind of like, it makes me think about like people that are psychic in a way, how when they're younger, they kind of shut it down. Like, oh, no, that's not true. Don't believe in that. Or you can't do that. And so as they get older, it fades, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I would think it's kind of like the same concept.
A
Andy,
gift.
Yeah. I mean, look at what people do with a lot of people that practice the craft or whatever. They meditate. A lot of people that meditate and are able to manipulate energy, or like I guess I think Mikhail was telling me about this, but like you can put your hands together and then create a heat source with energy inside your hand, and you can like throw that energy at people or something.
what?
That's kind of like that's a thing. Like I've heard it more than a few times.
That's crazy. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's crazy to think because I've even heard of like people that do meditate that are able to like levitate as well,
Yeah.
like during their deep meditation, which is
I've heard
pretty
of that.
cool.
What is it other than like? Well, I guess they some people call it chi. A lot of the Asian cultures talk about it as if it's like a chi source. But realistically, I mean, if you really think about it, it's got to be the power of the mind.
Yeah.
What that's saying, you can speak into existence what you want to happen. Like the most richest people on the earth, that's the main thing that will tell you. Like millionaires will tell you, I spoke it into existence. I woke up, I wrote it on my wall. When I opened my eyes in my bed, I read off exactly what I was going to do and accomplish. And they said it over and over and over until it manifested itself in their life.
See, that's so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. And I didn't even think about it that way. Because, most of the time it's easier to be negative than to be positive, right?
Yeah.
And you're always, oh, no, I'm never going to get there, or I'm not going to be able to do that. But if that's something that you engrave in your brain, like, I'm going to do it because I'm going to do it, and no matter what, and then, it happens. So, yeah, that makes sense.
I've heard that so many times. Cause I used to watch all those videos on like I guess it's just being positive. It's like positive energy, motivational speakers and stuff like that. I used to love because I used to be in sales, so I used to love that stuff. Like I would like consume it all the time, like every day, like constantly. And it works, like you start believing something so strongly that you can do it, and it happens. I've done it for myself, but I think it comes to a time where you just kind of like, I don't know, you get so distracted with life and you're not focusing on those things, and you lose track of that, and time just slips by so fast that you don't even realize how fast it's gone, and then you forgot all about that, and you can't apply those things. I think that's the key to meditation is every day you're taking time away to believe something so strongly that you can manifest it in your life. And it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I would
definitely does.
start doing it more.
Yeah, it definitely does. And it kind of reminded me when you said that about motivational speakers, about the Wolf of Wall Street. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
At the end where he's like, okay, sell me the pen,
Oh, yes,
right?
Yeah.
And like, there's people with the ability that to
Yeah.
be able to convince other people. And then there's people that, that just, no, that's not me,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I every person I've ever talked to that has made a lot of money in their lifetime, that's the thing that they always told me. That was one of the key things. There would be quite a few things that would all be similar, but that's the one thing outliner that always stuck out in my mind was just speak into existence. The Bible teaches you that. You know what I mean? Like it's there. It's real. So maybe that's where a lot of forces is coming from. But
yeah, I believe that. And I was gonna say, too, that another thing that I saw, where because somebody was on, I don't know if you've heard of Spaced Out Radio, and they were talking about it's like it's a radio like from Canada, but they have a YouTube and they go on every day, and so they had a guest that was talking about healing and like magic, like kind of like meditation and things like that. And I remember this video from a long time ago of a woman that was like in a hospital, and she had like a tumor. I think it was in her stomach somewhere. And they were doing like a live ultrasound, and they were the doctor, I guess the nurse was doing, or the doctor was doing the ultrasound, and you can see the tumor there in the ultrasound. And then she has like a group of people, and I think it was in China. And she had like a group of people on the other side of the bed, and they started doing like a chanting, kind of like a humming. And all of a sudden you can see on the ultrasound that the tumor starts to shrink until it like and disappears. And you can find that video on YouTube. And I remember I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And even now there's people that do that they kind of do healing. Like I think it's called like energy healing, where you can go and see somebody that can try to heal you with energy. And so I think that's cool if people have that capability.
I think we all have that capability. To be honest with you, like, I guess it's the same thing as prayer. Prayer is
powerful.
It's a belief it's a faith based. Like, it doesn't exist, it's not there, but you believe it enough that it happens. Like, look how many people that you have, 1,000 people praying for somebody that's in critical care because they got in a terrible car accident, and then they walk away from it the next day when that should have never happened, and it's through just prayer. Matter of fact, tell you what, like, you could take, let's see how I was going to word this, but shoot, yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say.
But I was going to say too, like,
placebo effect. Same thing as the placebo effect.
Yeah. And even like the same with miracles, where like somebody prays for a miracle, or, like somebody's sick, and, there's people that are praying, and a miracle does happen sometimes, and so that's kind of goes to show the power of the people have, and the prayer and the belief, right? Kind of like what Wig said here, the faith and belief are the foundation for both magic and religion.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, and I find that interesting. Go ahead. Can you hear us?
I think I'm breaking. No, it was breaking up. There's like bad weather coming over, so probably got bad service.
No, it's fine. Do you know? I was going to ask you. Do you know about? Can you hear me?
Do I know what? Say that one more time.
Do you know if Bolt was going to go live today?
I think he is. I'm not positive. I talked to him earlier. I know he was trying to get stuff together to get a video going. So you never know with Bolt. So,
yeah. I was waiting yesterday, and I was like, oh, I guess he's not going to do it.
Yeah, I sent him some stuff, some pretty cool stuff that I was out walking in the woods or in Texas, and I walked down this path, like big field, into this pond, and I found something that was pretty wild and interesting. I sent it to him, so I think he wants to talk about that too.
Oh, that's cool.
But it was pretty creepy looking. But yeah, let's do that. But here's a shout out to Paul.
That's cool.
That's Paul's Pat. Yeah,
he gave it to you?
He gave it to me. Yeah, he gave it to me whenever I hijacked his gun.
Oh wow, that's a nice one.
That's mine. Yeah, he calls it the Beast. So
have you used it yet? Have you used it yet?
Yeah, actually, I did the first time today. It runs real good. So apparently, Paul does know what he's doing when it comes to building a gun. So,
yeah,
it runs real good. It's fun. It's a blast to shoot. He's got this big drum on it. Hold on, it looks crazy. It looks real crazy. Hold on. But it's crazy. Maybe you won't get kicked off of YouTube for this.
We're not that big. we little ones get away with stuff. Wow. It looks like a toy, huh?
Yeah, it does.
We can just say, "Oh, it's a toy. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's a Nerf gun."
A BB gun.
That's crazy.
I have to play with it. I got it jammed up. But, yeah, so it comes with a big drum and stuff. So it's like a big old machine gun.
Is it heavy?
Oh yeah, it's very heavy.
It looks really heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. But it's so fun. It's so fun to shoot, man. I had a
That's so
blast
cool.
shooting it.
That's super cool. Yeah.
But yeah. But I think my service is going out.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on. And hopefully we'll get to be on the chat tonight.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Hopefully.
It's like bad weather coming.
Oh yeah.
So
Are you still in Texas?
yeah, I'm in San Juan.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'm way down here, like near the border.
Wow.
But
Well, thank you for coming on. Be safe out there.
Thank you.
Because he's always driving. Yeah. But all right, you guys. Well, we're gonna end it here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this talk on Stonehenge today. And thank you for your interaction and input. And hopefully we can see you guys again next week. But yeah, look out for me on the chats. I'd be chilling there.
Yeah.
But thank you and have a great Friday and a great weekend. And we'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.